there were a couple reasons that led to me taking a 9 to 5 job with a company. First was it was over a year by the time that I realized that this wasn't going the way that I expected it to go. And I had the interest in continuing to see it through. But I thought, well, I'm about to have a daughter in a couple months. It's probably a good idea to have some stability. And it was really important for me to be stable and for my wife to feel comfortable with, the future. And then also I wanted to continue building what I was building. So after we had a disappointing Y Combinator interview and got rejected from the batch in 2019, decided to look for some jobs, and I came across a developer in DC that was looking to start owning solar assets. And they basically were really engaged with what I was doing at the time. And it was just a way to continue building out the vision that I previously set out to build with a salary to go along with it and a team to support me. So it was, we'll give you everything you need to succeed here. And it was exciting because I had resources and time set apart, not having to focus on, sales and marketing and all those other aspects that certainly go into a startup.
I think the biggest thing that's kind of glaring in my ears when you say that is self-awareness, right? Even when you look back on how you define success, you define success by learning. Like, what I want to be challenged and I want to learn in this space. You started your career in financial services. So you kind of meandered your way into kind of, this is my passion and I want to continue to learn within that space. And through the experience of entrepreneurship, you got exposed and connected within this community to people doing very interesting things in that space. And you landed in a career job that allowed you to continue executing on your vision with a salary now that you have this growing family. I mean, I think that's a beautiful path, honestly, in terms of, what did entrepreneurship do for me? Could you have ever imagined kind of that journey coming out of University of Maryland?
No, there's just looking back at it. I've never thought about it like that. I never thought like, oh, I'm graduating, I'm gonna go get a job and maybe I'll work for a couple of years and then I'll start a company and it'll be very different from where I started, like 7 years ago. Because Fanny's known to just be very comfortable and it's a great place to work. So that's a great question. Now, I could never expected that, nor could I, based on what I've experienced, forecast the next 10 years out. The world's crazy and life will change in front of us. So it'll be interesting to see what, I do and certainly what you do in those 10 years.
Do you think that you'd be where you are today if you hadn't gone into entrepreneurship and started a company?
I think what I did as an entrepreneur accelerated my career trajectory as a result of what I was able to learn very quickly at a startup. Because from what I've seen in my experience, a startup is you are forced to learn new things constantly. And it's okay if those things don't work, as long as you're learning, going back to that. And I might not have been able to try that at a place like Fanny, because Fanny's pretty rigorous. They spend money. They really want to know what they're getting. And there's not a culture of like, let's rip stuff apart, see if it works. And then if it does work, let's take that and really scale it, which is something they should theoretically be able to do. But, it's different being in a startup.